Hey guys, Terry here, and I'm coming back at you with another Unity tutorial for beginners. There we go. All right, now today we're going to cover collectibles and power-ups. Now, they're both relatively easy, and we can actually recycle some of the objects we have in our, demo tutorial world I've been showing you already. So right now, if you remember on the last video, I showed you how to do this to make your health go down and then to persist between levels. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make one power up that increases your health, and then we're also going to make a collectible. So let's go ahead and start with the power up that increases your health, because most of the parts are already here. Now we're going to click on Danger 1. That's this one right here. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate it. And we're going to call this a power up. So, okay. And we're going to push enter. All right. Now, this already has a script on it. No, it doesn't. It just has tags. So that's beautiful. All right. Let's move it real quick. We're going to move it right up here. And we're going to make it say, I don't know, yellow, right? So we'll just go here and we will change the color to a yellowish kind of. That works. Good. Done. Okay. Now for the tag, we're going to add a new tag, and we're going to call this tag, let's be specific. It's going to be a health power up. You might have multiple types of power ups, right? So health power up. Right? Does that work? All right. Save. And then we're going to click back on the object, which is right here. And we're going to change that tag to health power up. All right. Perfect. Now we're going to go into our player, and we have a script. I believe everything is in the player control script because this is demo tutorial stuff, right? In my games, I make lots of separate scripts, okay? But we're going to head here to the on collision inner. And we're already checking for, we actually swap to compare tags because it's better than just actually getting the tag, less cycles. Anyways, so we're already checking for danger, exit. So let's go ahead and just copy this. And really, this is just an if statement, and I will explain it to you. I could just hit Control D. I'm aware of that. But all right, now we're going to change this tag here to health power up. Okay. Now this compare tag statement, it's just like the other statement I showed you, where I said if gameObject.tag equals health.pu, except this is less cycles. So you could just do gameObject.compare tag. Yeah, much better. All right, now what we're doing before was subtracting one health. When we hit a danger, we subtract a health. So what we're going to do here is add a health, and then we're going to change this here. This down here says if player health is less than or equal to 0, then player health equals max health. Now what we're going to do is say if player health is greater than or equal to max health, all right, then player health equals max health. Now what that does, it says that our health can't go above our max health, which I have set for 10. Otherwise, a collectible or a health power-up could give us 11 health. Now if you set this up for, say, food, and you have another, like, I don't know, bar, right, for food, then you can have it go higher. But in this case, we just have a simple counter 1 to 10, right? Now, we're actually done with that. We're all finished. So basically, all you have to do, let me just walk you through it again, is you create an empty game object, right, and you name it, and you give it a tag, okay? Now, on this game object, I have a sprite renderer, and I'm just using a default sprite that comes with Unity called input field background. Now, obviously, you would put your coin or whatever your collectible is right here in that spot instead of this. And you would probably leave the color at default, and you would probably also add an animator so your coin's spinning around. But it's the same exact principle. Okay, this coin or collectible or power-up has a box collider on it. And because our player has a box collider 2D, then this coin also has a box collider 2D. And then we have a player script that detects collisions. Now, this collision could just as easily be on the coin or collectible itself, or just another script on your player called collisions. Now, I'll make this bigger for you. So what we have here is a private void on collision inner 2D because, of course, we're using a 2D box collider. And then collision 2D collision. That just says that the collision 2D object or whatever source code is equal to the word collision. So we can then say use collision to find out what collided. And then here we're saying if the game object connected to the collision that happened, if their tag is equal to health PU, then we're going to take our player health, which is a static variable, so it persists across scenes. And I'll show you that in the next part of this video. I also showed it in a previous video. And then what we're going to say is player health is greater or is one more than what it was. But then we have a catch here. If the player health is greater than or equal to the max health, then it's going to make it equal to max health. So if increasing 1 makes the player health go above the max health, this will then set it at the max, so you can't get like 25 health. All right, so I'm going to show you this in action. Let's jump here to Unity, let it refresh, and then we'll play. Now, lousy player controls, because this is just a demo. So you hit the danger and your health goes down. You see? Now we hit the power up and the health goes up. But there is a problem, you might ask. The power up just stays here. And see, we can't go above 10, it'll check. But if we go to 9, we can go back to 10. And also, if we come over here, horrible player controllers, it persists to the next level. But now, there is an issue, right? The power-up is always there. Now, you might want that. Most games, you're going to want that power-up to disappear, so you can only use it one time. Now, let me show you how to do that. So we're going to make a new script on this power up here. Okay, so we're going to add a component. We're going to add a new script, and we're going to call this script collision, or just whatever. And we'll just call it collision control. There we go. Control. Okay. Now, we're going to open this new script in Visual Studio or whatever it is that you use. Oops, not player control, collision control. All right, let me take it over here so you can see it. Now, of course, it's just an empty open script, right? Nothing in it, and that's perfect. What we're going to do is go down here and say void on. And as you see, it starts to pre-type it for you. So there you go. On collision enter 2D. Now, we're going to say if collision, because remember, that's the word up here that we associate with this collision. If the game object of that collision, okay, compare tag, if that tag is player, okay, then we're going to run this if statement right here. Okay, guys, and I'm back. I'm sorry about that. I had to go on the Unity docs and look up the syntax for destroy. I'm not ashamed. I think all good programmers go to the documentation of their platform and look up syntax. So let's get back to where we were here. We're detecting the collision game object, and we're comparing it and making sure that it has the tag of player. Now, it's important that you do set your player to have the tag of player, or this will never get called. Now, if the collectible collides with the player, it destroys the game object, and it is that easy. So we will give this a shot, and let's just double check. Let's click on our player, and yes, it does indeed have the tag of player. Now I know that tags probably isn't the best way to do things, but this is a beginner's tutorial, and hey, triggers can be set too, but this is for beginners. So let's give her a shot. First, let's decrease our health by a couple. We're at 7. Let's go over here, and boom, we're at 8, and the collectible disappeared, and it does persist into the next level. The only problem being that if I go back to level 1, it is back, and that's for a whole nother tutorial. But normally in games, you wouldn't go back to level 1. Okay, now that that's done, and we're able to increment our health, incrementing a coin collectible is just as easy. So the first thing we're going to have to do is go to our player here, go to the canvas, and I have a text here which simply says, 10, because that's the health. It's an integer, it doesn't matter. So we're going to duplicate this text. Okay, but this one here, actually, guys, I'm going to let you do this in your tutorial, in your own games. I've already showed you how to do collectibles. Now, if you wanted to do something like coin count that persisted across, all you would do is go into player control, and right here I have a static integer called player health. You would simply make another static integer, and you would call it something like score or coins, and you would increment that upon a different object, collision control. So you guys probably got this down. If you have any questions, head over to my Discord and let me know what's up. I appreciate you, and I'll catch you in the next video.